Hey. Now, we're going back to the Grenfell fire incident. Well, they said Freezer started that madness and misfunction with the freezer. Okay, I mean, killed 79 people and caused a worldwide chaos throughout the whole world. In a building of probably millions of buildings that had accelerants, which had about nine other buildings that had the same material of the accelerant on the outside of this building. And not to mention the freezer was on the inside of the apartment building, and they mentioned most of the accelerant materials on the outside of the building, and you put that in the frame of millions and millions of buildings that had that 10 out of millions and millions of buildings in London that had that accelerant in that building. The odds just don't match up. And this fire in the Greenfields in the London is still fishy as hell. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Check it out, man. These people report anything. I mean, I'm telling you straight up. When a satanic event happens, like what happened with the Greenfell apartments, they will get on the news and say The Rock did it, and people will believe that shit. Okay, and it's as simple as that. People don't want people thinking critically or logically, because the simple fact is logic is the only thing that makes freaking sense, and it bothers people. Okay, how is it logical out of millions of buildings, only about 10 of these buildings in London had this accelerant on the outside of the building? How is it logical out of all the buildings in London that the fire took place in one of these big high-rise buildings? How is it logical that a freezer, which is inside of the building, I'm sure the family had different paint inside the building, and so forth and so on, got short-circuited, and it would just probably burn the damn, the inside. Alright? It don't make no damn sense. Not to mention they had the material, not to mention they had the rules stating that you should stay on your block or floor if a fire breaks out on another floor. Do not move, do not run out, and shit like that. And it explains why these buildings didn't have fire extinguishers or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that don't add up. Fire alarms don't have none of these things. I tell you straight up. A year before the World Trade Center bombing, there was other people who was doing construction in the World Trade Center. They were painting. There was painting, doing construction on other floors inside the World Trade Center. I mean, I seen a documentary of it, and I remember it. There was people on that went to the World Trade Center that certain floors were not even freaking finished. And this building has been built since the 70s? And they ain't finished these floors yet. And they went in there, they used to do, they said they did paint and stuff like that, and up and down certain floors were locked off. I remember certain floors being locked off. And they had bombs. There was a documentary that said they had bombs and flammable fluids that was placed in certain areas, and in the World Trade Center where the plane hit. Makes freaking sense because I was in the World Trade Center in 1999 before I joined the United States military. And I do remember people having construction on certain floors in that building. Okay? In 1998. Okay? By the time I left, 1999, by the time I left, it was about 2000. It's going on close to 2000. And I was going to, I went down south due to uncontrollable situations. I went down south to here to Virginia to live with my grandmother and soon join the military. And not 8 months fucking later, this fucking goddamn building fell. Alright? The explosions must be right. Because we didn't have metal detectors down there. You can walk right into the World Trade Center, show your card, and walk right through the goddamn things with bombs. They wouldn't know the difference. Okay? And as simple as that. Because they didn't have metal detectors in the World Trade Center. They don't mention that shit either. No metal detectors. You go right into this in there and plant bombs in certain areas of the building or where the place will hit. So the building will fall. Now, grant you, they said that in the World Trade Center, I'm going to make another point. They said in the World Trade Center that no high-rise ever fell because of fire. Now, you got the World Trade Center. The shit fell. There was bombs placed in that motherfucker. It fell because of bombs. Look at the Grenfell. It's filled with fire, and it didn't fall. Okay? And now I'm getting off the subject. But it was a year when I noticed there was construction and stuff like that was going on the floor. And I didn't see the people, but there was construction on the upper floors. Then I joined the military, and I was in the military for 8 months. Not necessarily the required months to what's that called? Required months for boot camp, so forth and so on. And I was with my girl, and we was with each other for approximately 8 months. So that's basically a fucking year. The accelerant on that building was placed on there by a year. 8 months, and the World Trade Center went down. The accelerant was placed on there by a year ago. Okay? Only 10 buildings have the accelerant. There's million buildings inside in London and so forth and so on. And they got rules not to leave the building, so they want everybody burnt a freaking alive. Okay? The thing, and what they come up with is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. A freezer burned that tower down. And the people that put the accelerant on their tower is going to be indicted for what? 79 homicides. I don't know about you, that shit don't sound right to me, and it'll never sound right to me, but that's what they said. A fire started by a damn freezer that killed 79 freaking people. Mind you, this building had no way of defending itself against fire. Mind you, this building had no way to alert the people of a fire in the building. I mean, the most basic things like alarms or fire equipment this thing didn't have. I mean, personally, this business shouldn't be running at all because it's beyond going against the fire code of any country. And all countries have fire codes for buildings. My opinion, humble opinion, that the Grenfell building was not an accident. I believe whoever did this has satanic and evil roots. Now, it's a long history about Satanists, and people like that sacrificing people to certain gods. Especially, certain Satanists, they'll kill one or two, but big rich Satanists, they'll kill a whole shitload of people. Not as simple as that. And that Grenfell fire thing is suspicious without a doubt. So, and what they do, they insult the freaking goddamn public's they insult the public's mindset. Insult the public that a freeze has started. And the public probably accepted it, and they probably start marching and saying, okay, a freeze has started. Just like mind control zombies. These people do not know how to use critical thinking. They don't know how to use reasoning, and they don't know how to use any of these things no more. Human beings have no comprehension in this 21st century of critical thinking. And the people that can critical think, the people that's doing all the fucking goddamn nonsense, get mad at you for critically thinking. Okay? They got this whole fucking world dumbed down to a nub. They got this whole world believing in everything they fucking say. Oh, fucking freaks and stuff. I don't think so. This World Prime, signing on.